Lynn is saying, I don't believe our country is broke. It's not a question of if the country is broke. It's a question about printing the money. It's about a question about the value of the dollar. It's about the national debt. It's about those things. The US government can continue printing and printing money, but it's about the devaluation of the dollar, the national debts. It's those factors. It's never a question about does the US government have money. But a lot of the politicians are saying we got to take those things into consideration right now for the long run. And then other politicians are saying, no, we need to forget about that because this is a once in a lifetime pandemic. And we need to help the American people right now without taking into consideration the devaluation of the dollar or the national debts, things like that. But that's a very good point. Ari Desea is asking, does $2,000 stimulus include dependents? It would, but we just don't know the amounts yet. Again, we don't even know if it's going to pass. The first step of all of this, well, the first step was on Christmas Eve. That was the biggest long shot because on Christmas Eve, it had to pass with unanimous consent. It failed, obviously. And then Monday, it goes up for a regular vote. A good question was, is Monday going to be unanimous consent? And the answer is no. It might pass in the House of Representatives, but that if it does pass, it's not going to be time to celebrate because if it passes in the House of Representatives on Monday, then it goes to the Senate. If it goes to the Senate, they vote on it again by the senators, and we don't know how they're going to vote. We'll have to see. John J. Rambo is asking, will Nancy Pelosi get a stimulus check in Congress? Well, obviously they won't qualify for a stimulus check because of the income limitations, but a lot of congressmen and a lot of senators have been taking and qualified for the PPP loan money. It's not loan money, it's free money to the congressmen, and it's been millions of dollars. So no, they won't qualify for the stimulus checks, but a lot of these politicians are and were getting a ton of money, millions of dollars. But you got to take into consideration other things too. For example, in this bill that got to President Trump, you know, because I told you that they allotted $89 million for the Senate to purchase furniture, okay? Okay, so you're thinking, how is that going to benefit the politicians? The question is, okay, who owns these furniture stores? Is it the politicians? Is it cousins of the politicians? Is it family members? You never know. I bet you it is. But who's going to actually go look into that and do your due diligence on that? But you're talking about $89 million for furniture. And I bet you some relatives or family members own those furniture stores. And they're going to be paying over the top, well above fair market value. That's just one of the luxuries and benefits of being a politician. Is kickbacks. Okay, Twilight Taji is asking, how long after the House passes the bill, how quickly can the Senate pass it? You saw on Monday how quickly they can move, just like that. The House and the Senate, they passed it the same day. The House, I would say the House passed it from the House passing it to the Senate, it was probably 5 or 6 hours, so same day. So 5-6 hours, same day. That's the time frame of how quickly they were acting when it was up to the government funding bill. Third stimulus check. John Henry is asking about the third stimulus check. We're trying to get the second stimulus check passed. We thought the second stimulus check would pass, but obviously President Trump, he threw a wrench into this. And then the third stimulus check, that was the one that Joe Biden was saying, because Joe Biden said, with the second stimulus check, it's only going to be a down payment for the stimulus check that he wants to pass. So Biden was talking about a third stimulus check. But additionally, it wasn't just Biden. It was both Republicans and Democrats, because McConnell was saying, we're going to do another stimulus package as well. And on that next stimulus package, we're going to be focusing on liability protection for businesses. And Nancy Pelosi was saying with the new stimulus package, we're going to be talking about and we're going to be trying to get state and local government funding. So it was the Republicans, the Democrats, and Joe Biden talking about a third stimulus check. Well, not so much Mitch McConnell, but he was talking about a stimulus package, the next stimulus package after the one that was supposed to pass. John C. is saying, seriously, why are the politicians spending money overseas? I mean, yes, of course, international spending is necessary, but to what extent? But there's a difference between international spending and foreign aid. And how far do you want to push that foreign aid? Because we have people at home struggling. Now, I think spending that much amount of money in foreign aid is just too much. Okay, Cecil Brown mentioned we're getting a lot of these questions about the adult dependents, adult parents being claimed as dependents. The answer is no. This time around, the last one too, adult dependents will not qualify for the stimulus check money. Okay, so Roger Villanueva is asking, what are the odds of getting our stimulus before the year is over? That's really going to depend on President Trump, but you actually receiving your money, you receiving the stimulus check money in your bank account before the year is over, it's not going to happen because Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin has said that it would take about 2 weeks. He said less than 2 weeks, but obviously, as you can see, it's December 26th. There's no possibility that we will receive the second stimulus check money before the year ends. Okay, so I will make an update tomorrow. I thank you so much for all your questions that you have been providing for me to answer. I hope that this has been helpful in answering your questions about the stimulus checks as well as the stimulus package. The next key date will be on Monday. That's when the House of Representatives will be voting on the $2,000 stimulus checks. But again, if they vote and pass that in the House of Representatives, it's not a sure thing because it needs to pass in the Senate as well. So we'll see in the meantime what President Trump does. Currently, he's at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, and we don't know whether he's going to sign it, veto it, or do nothing. So thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to updating you in tomorrow's Daily News Report. Thank you so much, and please have a good night.